Hi guys, welcome back. And today we are going to be tying the green Highlander Atlantic salmon pattern using a number 4 salmon steelhead hook and 8/0 black thread to start. We're just going to tie that thread in at the back there. We're going to be doing some very fine silver tinsel for the tag at the back. Tie that off. And now we are going to do, sorry about the music in the background, that's the dishwasher finishing. I'm going to be doing now some yellow floss, tag end. Make sure you cut off enough floss that you can go over itself about 3 times. And that will, to a certain degree, hide the black thread on underneath it. Just going to go back and, as I did there, I clipped the point, and now we'll instantly tear your thread, your floss, so be careful on that, but it's a simple fix. And we're going to come back with this here, and if it starts to unravel, all you have to do is wind it counterclockwise, and back up we go. Now we want to build that up because that'll also give us a nice little ramp, if you want to say that, a nice little wedge for our golden pheasant tippet there. Okay. Now we'll get some golden pheasants. And give yourself a nice piece here. So I'm just trying to see what I got here. That looks good. And you'll find on some of the golden, depending on the grade of the golden pheasant, you're going to find some uneven barbels. So you just want to peel those off. You want to tie that in at the back there. That is going up. Looks good. Now we're just going to put in some barred mallard flank, just a little piece on top of that golden pheasant. Just a little smidgen of it. Pattern calls for, just like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tie in a little ostrich roll. Let's see here. And one will do. I like to go over it back and through again, just to make it a little bit thicker. We'll tie that off, but it's up to you. Just going to give it a wind up with the thread there a bit and then wind back, just to cover anything that I haven't tied off properly. There we go, it's looking good. So now we're going to do the rib's going to be a little bit of fine silver tinsel. If you're tying a lot of Atlantic salmon patterns up, you're going to find that you're going to need a lot of tinsel in different sizes. So, okay, we're just going to get that out of the way there. And now the back half is going to be, of the body is going to be yellow floss, and the front part will be some bright green. Either you can use yarn or dubbing. I'm going to use some bright green dubbing up here and some ice dub actually. So let's get the floss out, and again, always make sure you have enough that you can go over itself again. I'm just going to cut off a piece here. Tie that in. Back. There we go. Okay. So we're just going to start winding that up. And watch again how tight, how much tension you're putting on the floss, because it will start to break. We're going to do another pass back. And another pass forward. And sometimes, no matter what you do, the floss will start to break. I wouldn't worry too much about that. You can clip that off later, and also the ribbing might even cover it too. So don't worry too much about that. Just again, take your time with these. Okay, I can see I got a little strand there. Okay. Now the front part is going to be the bright green. Ice dub. And you want to keep your thickness consistent. And we're going to do one more there. There we go. Pull that forward now. In this part here, you can actually start trimming up any of the ice dub. It actually got away on you, or you can do it later. Now we're going to rib up the silver tinsel. That looks good. Try to space that out equally as much as you can. Okay. And now what we're going to do is grab a little bit of strung guinea. And we're just going to put a little bit of a collar on there to start, just to cover the green ice dub a little bit. And again, this is not going to be too much, so we're just going to grab a little feather here. And the problem with using the little feathers on some of this guinea is that the stem is actually very thin. So we're just going to tie that in very gingerly. Okay, and grab some hackle pliers here. As soft as you can do it. Oops, try that again. I'm going to do one wrap around here. There we go. Now we're just going to tie that off there. And we'll turn around and clean that up in a second. That looks good. And we'll just pull it back with your fingers and bring the thread back. There we go. That's what we want. A little bit. Just covering that. That looks good. Excellent. Now for the throat, we're going to do just a little bit of yellow hackle. And you just want to cut that or pull it off. Make sure it's even and tie that in for the throat. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. Make sure that's secured down. And now we're going to mix a little bit of bucktail orange, green, and yellow. And when you're doing that, just make sure it's not really a lot of strands. Make sure you're just grabbing a few. The fewer the better in this case. And you want to cut some up and just put it aside very carefully. Cut some orange up. And again, just put it aside on top of that yellow you just cut. And now the final one, we're going to get some green. And again, less is better. And we'll put it on top. And now what you're doing is you're just going to mix it all up in your fingers. Just spin it around with your fingers and basically it looks like that. Okay. And now you want to tie that in. And pull that up a bit there. Okay, and the final part of the wing will be some natural squirrel tail. You can actually use any color squirrel tail to a certain degree for this pattern. And always remember, less is more. So make sure you're not putting too much of the squirrel tail on top, or your head will be too big to finish. There we go. I'm just going to tie that in. Looks good. Off. And we're going to just start to build our head right now and make sure everything's secure as far as the squirrel tail and the buck tail. That looks good. And the final piece, of course, will be the jungle cockeyes. And I'm just going to see here, grab some two that I like. Okay. And we're going to tie that in. Depending how old your cape is of this, you can take your time with it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, like that. Nope, don't like the positioning of that, so we're going to put it up a little bit higher. And I believe, to be honest with you, these pieces were a little bit big, so I'm going to grab a few more of the smaller ones. Okay. Just to me, they seemed a little big for this pattern. Oh, that's much better. That's one. And we'll tie in the other one here after we get it all ready. Make that even. That looks good. Okay, we're just about done here. Just want to trim off. Oops. That. And now we're just going to finish our head here. Just kind of taking a peek to make sure that everything is covered here. Looks good. And finish it off with a whip finish. 4 to 5 turns is good. We'll be putting some clear UV on it, and it'll secure it and also make it look really good. Like that. Grab your UV. Now you can use these attachments that come with the UV to a fine point, or you can use your pumpkin or needle. It really doesn't matter. Just trying to smoothen it out. And again, just hitting it with a quick UV just to give it a quick set. That way, if you make a mistake, you can fix it. Now we'll just hit it with some more longer light. And there you have it, the Green Highlander. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time.